So I'm back. Welcome to another live stream. Who would have thought that I would stream today twice? But I think we'll do a bit of a live chart update. You know, I thought before I just update on my own here in my office, upload the videos, you know, I thought we could very well just do a live TA update and, you know, you can ask your questions and whatever. Please hit the like button. I've literally just come back from the gym actually and wanted to get a coffee afterwards. And while I was getting my coffee, prices were dropping. So I thought, come on, get home, do some updates. Hold on, give me a few minutes because I need to get some water first. And then I'll be back in basically a few, maybe a minute or so. Give me a minute. Okay, so yeah, we take it slowly here today. Yeah, I mean, prices are dropping. We still have limited clarity of what's exactly going on, but obviously we saw it earlier in the live stream when you joined, possibly as well, the PCE live stream, that inflation was running hotter than anticipated. I think the Wall Street started fairly neutral, but yeah, I think it didn't actually. Since the announcement came out, it dropped quite dramatically. Bitcoin, Ethereum, many other coins. So we're going to talk about all that. I think we've got a bit of time. I'm gonna get a takeaway delivery today, so I don't wanna stay in the kitchen today. So we've got a bit of time. Who would have thought that we get it out of this range here? Now, so yeah, welcome everybody. By all means, when you just joined, so we take it slowly, we just started. I would say please hit the like button. That would be amazing because it would help the channel, the live stream, make it a bit more popular. Sebastian joined as well. Hello. And then we talk about the scenario. So obviously, you know, things are still sort of evolving as we speak. So let's maybe start with Bitcoin. Yeah, I wanna take some time to outline the scenarios for Bitcoin. So hopefully you were prepared for the drop. I mean, you know, I highlighted repeatedly that most easy money in this rally since November was made. Things expect headwinds, and all the trades I was in, or at least the short-term trades, I obviously still have my core positions open, but all the short-term trades, they either closed, most of them at least, closed as a profit or at break even. So I did, especially the Ethereum one, took some profits and it got stopped out in profit now. And that's what stops are for. On days like that, you need those stops. So I can only recommend, make sure when you have any trades open, maybe realize some profits, make sure they don't turn into a loss if possible, and just focus on not making losses. Then profits should come by itself. But yeah, you know, we needed to be ready for this. I hope we were. I'm now just careful re-entering because we've got two scenarios which are now, on the chart here. One where we still can rally higher, and that's sort of at the moment what I'm looking at. But of course, I can't promise to you it's going to happen. I want to see, first of all, a reaction to this support area for Bitcoin. So the first scenario, which you should be aware of because we talked about that in the last videos anyway for Bitcoin, is that this 5-wave move since November is still running. And what we've seen here to the upside was just the wave 1 of the wave 5. This here is actually the wave 2 of the wave 5, which is basically valid as long as we are holding here the 78.6 retracement. Hold on, did they actually reactivate my microphone? Yeah, I did, okay. So this is the support area here. As long as that's holding at 22,188, Bitcoin can turn around here and put that extension in of the 5th wave. this was what I highlighted in the videos today and yesterday, that if we actually get a deeper pullback but hold this 78.6 retracement, it actually can do an extension, wave 1 up, wave 2 down, wave 3 up, wave 4 down, wave 5 up, in wave 5 maybe even into the 30k region. Now that's a phenomenal reward to risk ratio. So for the brave ones among you, you could look at maybe entering here in this area for a possible rally into the 30k region. That's one scenario. That's the imminent one in which we currently are. But if we lose the 22,190 level, which is absolutely a possibility, then we have to assume that this rally since November actually finished. And that we are now heading down into this large wave 2 support area, which is based on the length of the entire rally. Yeah. And then we would come down into this area. But this will not happen in one straight line. I mean, how long did that move take? I mean, since November. So if you talk about, okay, wave 1 might be finished, there is no rush, no need to rush, because typically what you would expect is, and that we talk about, how long time-wise would that move normally take? I mean, you would normally talk about here maybe middle of April, yeah? You would at least expect 60% of the time that wave 1 took, that the wave 2 takes as well. So this is not like going down straight away. This will be a period, if that scenario is actually valid, that we come down in an A wave, we're going to rally correctively in a B wave, and we'll head down in a C wave. Yeah. So, but ideally that can take, throughout April, throughout March and April, certainly. So these are the two scenarios I'm looking at, and I personally want to get some clarity. I mean, if we come down lower with Bitcoin, it could very well be that we drop into this region. Yeah, again, not in a straight line, so you get that ABC. But of course, this is also here a decent reward to risk ratio. The thing is, waiting for a little bit of clarity won't harm, because if we put an extension in here, I mean, target is around 30k. I mean, you've got more, a lot of way to go to the upside. But at the moment, we just see a bit of a wall of red today, a bit of risk off mode. Yeah, people close their trades or go short or whatever. But yeah, this is certainly now a support area we're in, and Bitcoin already reacted a little bit to that 61.8 retracement. So these are the two scenarios for Bitcoin at the moment, and it's a bit unclear which one we are in at the moment. I mean, at the moment we need to focus on this one because that's the imminent one. Yeah. And if we try to look at, what could be the wave count just for, and I'm going through the chart step by step. I mean, I don't know how much time we actually have and how much time I can, until I get completely exhausted here. But we say this was an A wave to the downside, yeah, which came down here on Thursday. And I will look at the chat and your questions, but obviously we need to take it step by step. This could have been a B wave, and then we would come down now in a C wave, yeah. But the problem is this really then looks like a wave 1 here, a wave 2. Now, this might be a third wave now, but then, this is still probably ongoing, to be fair. Okay. Now, if this is an ABC, what would be a target for the C wave? We can measure that as well, maybe to get some clarity here. You would normally look at the 1.618 extension. Then we talk about, talk about 22,160. Now that's very much in line with the 78.6 retracement down here. So there's good fib confluence down there. I'm just a bit hesitant due to the subwave structure here. Yeah, because at the moment I would only be able to count a wave 1, a wave 2. Then this would be a wave 3, but this should come down even lower. Unless it's a WXY, and then you have an A wave, here a B wave, and this is the C wave. So I would be more, instead of trying to do the micro counting here, I'd be looking at the fib targets. And here, based on this information, I would say we should rather look at the lower end of the yellow support area. At least that's my view, yeah. But if it drops below the 78.6 retracement, then we are probably heading down lower, okay. So I would, at the moment, that's the reason why I'm holding off at the moment, just wait and see, especially as it's late Friday. Weekend is always a bit unpredictable anyway. So, but that is sort of what we look at for Bitcoin. And then we talk about Ethereum now. Yeah. Ethereum is in a similar situation. I haven't actually adjusted the chart, but we can do that live in the video, live stream actually. Here as well, yeah, situation, so I have to take that out because either we topped now completely, so similar to Bitcoin, either we, and I'm just highlighting that as an alternative for now because it's not confirmed yet, right? So that we actually topped this entire rally that started back in November. Similar story here as well, yeah, that we really finished here, this wave 5 waves up, complete, and we're now coming down, and this would be the more, let's call it short-term, more bearish option. I have to go to the 1 hour chart, and that we get into this support area down here. Similar to Bitcoin, similar story. We go to the 4 hour chart. I'm going to give you that target as well. And then we talk here about the area between, basically, depending on how I measure that, I need to go to the top. Might adjust that later a little bit, but it will only change a few dollars maybe. So yeah, you talk about the area between basically 12.19 and 14.10 for a support in this wave 2. If we topped now here already, yeah, and that's, you know, that means quite a bit of a drop from where we currently are, right? And if we talk about how would that happen, that would most likely happen in a scenario of A, B, C. And for the A wave, I would be looking at possibly the 38.2 retracement. So we talk here maybe at 1488 for an initial reaction if we drop below this yellow support area, which is the other scenario. Yeah. So A wave can come down to the 38.2 fib level, no problem. We've seen that across the crypto market in recent weeks. But for now, we are initially in this scenario here, where we could say we are putting an extension in, like I said, for Bitcoin. I don't know how likely that is. Yeah, I think probabilities are fairly similar here, to be honest. But key is to understand about the risk at the moment that we can also come down much lower. So here as well, you know, you could say we've got this scenario that we put this extension in the 5th wave. Wave 1 to the upside, we're coming down in a wave 2 and would then do something like this, maybe even in the $2,000 region. But then we need to turn around somewhere here, at least above 1525. Now we already reacted to that support area for this particular scenario. But yeah, how likely is it? Also here we can look at target. So if we say the wave 2 consists of A, B, C, came down in an A wave. This was possibly here, maybe even a B wave triangle. 1 second. A, B, C, D. Might probably have been a triangle. And then we come down in a C wave. Now, target-wise then, you know, this is the support area, but we can also define target to see if we have any confluence. So target-wise, you know, you talk about 1.618 extension would also be here around 1530. So sort of like Bitcoin, actually at the lower end of the spectrum, ideally. Okay, so we need to be watching that. At the moment, I just don't have enough sort of data to say, you know, it's already reversed or anything. Certainly a nice, you know, candle here, but it's too early. It's too early, and it's not an engulfing green candle or anything, not yet at least. And we're only on the 30-minute chart, so let's see how the hour performs. I certainly want to get some clarity, and in my opinion, there's no need to rush, because if this goes up from here, you know, we talk about from where we are now, maybe into the $2,000 region, yeah. And if it doesn't, then we'll see prices probably in this region between 12.18 to 14.10, which will be the larger decision point about is the bear market low already in or not. So these are the two main scenarios here. Yeah, so good to see some movement. Yeah, it is really good, because it was getting quite, let's say, boring. But you know, that's sort of, as I always say, it's not an action movie that we're in. You know, this is financial markets. You get movement and you get periods of consolidation. Coin Ethereum. So what I'll try to see if there are any questions in the chat, by all means, and feel free to hit the like button, please, to make this stream a bit more popular. And to see if there are any. So Bart asked, is this a good entry for a short? From my point of view, not. Yeah, because we're just in support. So I don't think Bitcoin, Ethereum, at least for me, it wouldn't be a good short, because surely it can now drop further, but we are just in the support area. Yeah. And we might have switched into a larger uptrend. So yeah, for me, I wouldn't know where to set the stop loss here. It would need to be somewhere up there. Then you're too far away from basically where you can set your stop loss. So just going through the chat here for any questions I can pick out, and I won't be able to answer them all probably. So yeah, thanks for everybody who joined the live stream. A chain link. Just see Paul asked for chain link. So made a video earlier today about Link and highlighted here a support area, or was it yesterday? A support area for Link. This is the area. If this count is correct and we have here a 1-2 setup for Link, then it should find support in this yellow support area, same way where it found support here, hit resistance, came down again into support, reacted again. But in all likelihood, it should actually, if this is coming down in a C wave, in an ideal scenario, the C wave should go below the A wave low. It's all probabilities, yeah, but it should ideally. I mean, it reacted already to the support area, but ideally it should go a little below the A wave. Also here, you can look at possible targets. Yeah, then you take the length of the A wave, we go to the high of the B wave, and a key target would be the 1-to-1 ratio here. I'd be looking at $7.10, maybe even here $7.21, which is the 61.8 retracement, all the way down to 688, but there it should turn around. If it doesn't turn around there, then also this possible 1-2 setup is getting less reliable. That's why I've highlighted them in yellow, because it's not necessarily a super high probability count or turning point, but it's one for anybody who wants to trade it, right? Again, I can't give you financial advice. As you know, I can only tell you where I think the price has a decent chance to turn around, where I believe there is a decent reward to risk ratio. And so far Link is following it nicely. Yeah, so we identified this support area, it reacted nicely, hit resistance nicely, came down, and is reacted already, but I think it should actually in all likelihood go a little lower to go below that A wave low. Otherwise it's getting a bit strange, because the C wave would then have to be truncated, which is only really valid in exceptional circumstances. So I'm looking actually ideally for a move down. Also because the move up here, yeah, I mean, we moved up, and now what could have happened here on the way down, it looks basically like possible wave 1, a wave 2, yeah, and this could be a wave 3, so probably not finished yet on the way down. Yeah, we want to see 5 waves normally in the C wave, and that would match with the idea that the C wave should normally go, below the A wave low. Mislav and a few others asked for H-bar. I think also here I don't need to make a change to the count. I think what we talked about I think it was yesterday in the H-bar update sort of is still valid. The idea is that we are here in a correction, ABC, yeah. Possibly that we peaked here in a wave 5. That was let me take all those lines out here. I haven't updated this chart yet, but let me tidy that up a little bit. I take that box out as well. No need. Yeah, so the idea is that we rallied obviously also here since the end of December in 5 waves to the upside. Yeah, we peaked here somewhere around 10 cents, and that we then came down in this ABC correction. Now that could be finished, nearly at least. We've got 5 waves down in the C wave, but is the entire correction finished? I wouldn't think so. Because my view at the moment is that we rallied here in 5 waves. So that means a wave 1 is finished in my opinion, and we come down now in a wave 2. Now this should normally get into this region, and I'm going to highlight that now with the fib support areas, which gives you a better overview actually. So this is sort of I would say a high probability area for a turnaround. between 4.9 and 6.7 cents. But again, this is not going to happen in a straight line. And also time-wise, yeah, the wave one, it took like here as well, 1.5 months roughly. So you would expect the wave two at least to take sort of 1 month. Now it really only started like last week, right? Or on the 12th of February. So it will probably take a little while. And that's why I'm looking at this here possibly only as the A wave, yeah, of a larger correction. Also here at the moment, the A wave only seems to be coming down in 3 waves. I gave you a support area here to which the market already reacted, as you can see. So it could very well be that we get a larger bounce from here in the B wave and then come down in C. But it's, again, here also too early to confirm a reversal, but it's reacted already to that support area. And if we get a breakout above 8.3 cents, I think we can be confident that we're moving up in a B wave, possibly with resistance around 9.25 cents. But resistance can go higher in a B wave. Resistances in a B wave are always difficult. I highlight them on the chart now. So this sort of would be the ideal target for a B wave. In this particular scenario, actually between 9.4 cents and 10.8. And then we could come down in the C wave. So that's sort of what I'd be looking out for next here. Of course, if it breaks below support straight away, then the next target would be the 6.7 cent level. Yeah? But for now, we did see some initial reaction to it. The reason why I gave you this support area in the previous video is that this is the 38.2 retracement, as you can see here. This is normally, let's say not normally, but often, where an A wave reacts to. So speculate that maybe here this could be the beginning of the B wave. But of course it depends a little bit on what Bitcoin is doing as well, yeah? So for me the trend is down here, but obviously it's going to happen in a range. There will be some ups and downs in the range. Okay, so a few people asked for ADA. Yeah, this I think came down to bottom of support now. Yeah, so this is really now maxed out what it should be doing in this move to the downside. Because if it comes down lower, then we are most likely going to head straight away into the green support area here, which I will also by the way, now highlight with Fibonacci support levels. It's the better way of doing it. It's how we want to do it all the time now. Just to put on the chart these boxes with the fibs and also the color coding, which represents like probabilities sort of and risk, in my opinion. Yeah. So here the green one should be a decent one also because reward to risk will be exceptional. Of course, there's never a guarantee that these support areas are really going to hold support, right? The market will decide in the end, but there are probabilities. So, yeah, so here the idea is still that we could be in this larger ABC pattern to the upside. But it's obviously getting challenged now. So it's now done the absolute maximum of what it should be doing in this scenario. So also here, my long trade was stopped out at break even at 37.9. We broke below the channel support as well. So this is a strong downturn, a lot of downside pressure here. Now it's currently holding that 78.6 retracement, but if it loses that level, and it might very well do, looking at Bitcoin and Ethereum, then we are probably going to head down straight away into the green support area, which will be probably the next high probability entry point. Because the thing is, the B wave should normally not break below the 78.6 retracement, and it's coming down quite impulsively here. But for now, you could say it's still holding it. So this is still, let's call it high reward to risk from here. But at the moment, I would personally just be a bit careful just to see what Bitcoin Ethereum are doing when they decide what's going to happen here. At the moment, they all come down quite low to support, and we don't really see any, it's like a straight line, right? There is no reaction yet to the upside. So for me, at the moment, I would want to see like a reaction to the upside, like something, at least like a green candle on the hourly or something that closes successfully to look at a possible re-entry here. because there is now the risk that, you know, we are obviously coming down directly. So to keep it simple, 36.1 cent is key support. If it loses that, okay, there will probably be some temporary support in this area around 34.5 cents again, which was this amazing turning point where we also had previous support here, yeah. And I think it is also, again, if I'm just adding the 38.2 retracement again, this is key support also here. Yeah, it's there will be support in this region. And the thing is, I'm not sure if it's going to break through straight away, but there will most likely be some temporary support in this particular region, which I might very well just sort of highlight here with this extension on the chart. It should not be, let's say, the turning point for the wave 2. It shouldn't be. Yeah, it would be a bit too shallow. But yeah, for now, it can still turn around here, but if it loses this yellow support box, we head down into this support, maybe turn around here temporarily, but this will be the next high probability turning point. Because then if we get into this region, I would say this is the wave 2. And then what we then had here probably was just the A wave down, the B wave up, and now we are in the C wave to the downside, which could hit this area down there. So that's ADA. So just going through the chat here just to see. Solana, I have a few questions about Solana, but did I do an update today? I think so. Yeah, Optimism is just following the current count, so that's amazing. Yeah, I had a question here about Optimism as well. So you can see how some coins are just completely unaffected by Bitcoin. I'm quite happy about Optimism because I still have my trade open from 125, so extremely pleased with that. It's one of the coins that made a new all-time high in the bear market. It just did it. And I think this is still going higher here, yeah, in a fifth wave. Highlighted to you in one of the last updates that this could be a 1-2 setup here, and it might be rallying in a third wave. Target here, yeah, we talk about next target 367, then maybe even all the way up to 466, but that's a bit of an optimistic one. So for now, against this low here, which is the wave 2 low, 1-2 setup we had here, yeah, at 235, this can still rally higher. Yeah, it's just about to break resistance here around 320, and then it's going. Okay, so trend is up here on Optimism. It's an amazing one, and only when that one is done here, then we probably head back into a larger wave 2. Okay, so yeah, we can go through some of the coins. So here, VeChain. By the way, please hit the like button. That would help this stream tremendously. Yeah, VeChain is just also confirming, I think, my view from the previous video. I think we might now very well add a possible support area here for the wave 2. Because this looks like that this wave 5 of 1 was indeed finished. Yeah, the green box represents sort of the Fibonacci extension targets that this wave 5 could react to eventually. But I did highlight in the video before that, I highlighted to you that 2 things to watch out for. First of all, the 3.3 cent level will be important resistance. Yeah, very important resistance. And it reacted to the target already. So, and then you use the trend line here, which is always subjective. Yeah, I sometimes say I don't like trend lines, but in the end I use them still. Because when they break, they often really indicate that this temp move is finished. You know, that, yeah, it is. And now it looks like we come down in an A wave off the wave 2. Again, here as well, you know, time-wise, yeah, Fibonacci time zones, don't use them too often, but in a wave 1 and a wave 2, you can sort of get at least an orientation. Because here it looks like that we are now in a wave 2. And again, this is not going to happen in a straight line. We'll have an ABC structure. Possibly we came down in an A wave. This was a B wave up, and we now come down in the C wave off the A wave. And this should sort of also, maybe bottom sort of in the second half of March, some point. Yeah, and if we talk about what would be always condition is that we stay below the last low. Yeah, for that. And the support area here for the wave 2 would be, and that would also be an entry point that I'd be looking at then. Here, just see, yeah, sort of between 1.9 cent and 2.38. Now it could very well be that this A wave, yeah, is going to react to the 38.2 retracement. So I'm going to add another support area now, sort of for what I think could be a reaction for an A wave. Now this is going to be a, let's call it lower probability one. Let me just, I will add that actually to the chart. So I'll highlight that in orange because it's, let's say, more risk, yeah. And at the moment I don't have a great visibility of the subwave structure. And you would normally expect it to go into the region between the 50% and the 38.2 retracement. And then I'm going to save that as a template. But it's too early to really confirm that. That's why I highlighted in orange, sort of be aware that this is not really high probability, at least at this stage. Yeah, that might change, but typically you would expect a reaction to an A wave in this region. Now I'm adding it now, but I don't have great visibility of the subwave structure yet. But this is typically where you would expect at least an initial reaction to an A wave before we go up in a B wave and then come down and see. This could certainly be an A wave. Yeah, this could be a B wave and this could be a C wave of A. Okay, so be aware of that. We can also, if I label that, again, this is micro counting, so not necessarily super high probability, but A, B, C. In A, an A wave can be a 3-wave move. Then target-wise, also you can use the Fibonacci extensions here to estimate target for the C wave. Looking for the 1-to-1 ratio. So here perfectly, there is confluence at the 38.2 support. So 2.6 cents. Yeah. In addition to that, what might work out here, you might want to use channeling so you can connect the wave. You can do that. Let me see if that actually. So you might get here with that an estimate where this will finish. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, this will be interesting. Okay, and that's VeChain. Yeah. Did I cover Solana? To be honest, I forgot. I don't know. Did I cover it? No. Let's look at Solana. Yeah, talked about this count in the previous video. I've now added the subwave structure as well, the possible subwave structure, how this could be playing out. That we are now in the C wave. So sort of the warnings from the last videos, yeah, after we broke below 2430, I think they are happening. Yeah, it's happening. It's a bit too early to really say that we are really moving down in the C wave at the moment. There will be further support along the way. You will have some support around $22, most like structural support. Very important support in my opinion here at 1970. This is again the 38.2 fib level. But then if it's following that path, it should now ideally get into this region. Yeah, so each of these support levels, when we take them out, it will confirm that further. And yeah, it should ideally take us into this region, which would then ideally be the wave 2 support low. Also looking at, I think time-wise, this works out quite well. Looks like Solana is quite far advanced already. And let's see if we get there, yeah. But there will probably be, again, support around this region, around $20. What else can I say? Nothing really. I think this is just coming down. So surely, you know, this will need to be revised if we break above the what I have labeled a wave 2 high here at the moment. If we break above this level, which is at 24.70, this would need to be revised. But for now, it's following that path down. And I think next target would be 22.10, and then here 1975. Those previous lows here, which was around the 38.2 retracement. We can actually double check that. Yeah, pretty clearly at the 38.2 retracement, yeah. So again, this is normally the first level where you see some kind of a reaction here as well. That's why I highlighted it for VeChain, because we came down, hit the 38.2 retracement in an A wave most likely. We rallied in a B wave, hit resistance, now coming down. Now in the C wave, we shouldn't see a massive reaction to it, but we'll see. Be aware of that level. Panayotis asked for the DXY. So about, if you're not aware, on my second channel, obviously I'm analyzing the DXY. It's the more trading online channel, but yeah, it's rallying today, and it's rallying because you typically see that when the inflation is higher than anticipated, you see typically a positive impact on the US dollar. Now, not really too much surprise for anyone who's been following my second channel, because we identified that it most likely already changed trend here a couple of weeks ago, and that it would go up in this larger B wave, yeah, which could reach sort of 110 US dollars. Now again, just how that's going to play out is always then the question, in which kind of subwave structure this is going to play out. But for now, it seems like we rallied in a 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is now a fifth wave extension, which would probably reach $105.77. At least sort of this region here around 105.50 up there. This will be resistance. And when we then hit this resistance, that's an ideal time for the DXY to turn around. And I will need to change the box for that anyway. And then this could mean some temporary upside for Bitcoin, Ethereum when this is coming down, okay? But for now, there is no indication it has topped yet. Indeed, it's actually gaining a bit in momentum, but we'll have a bit of a ceiling here at 105.50, roughly in that area. Why is that? That's because this is the Fibonacci extension target. If I measure the length of 1 to 3, go to the low of the fourth, you see it's the 1-to-1 ratio. So we should see some reaction there, and just need to drink something. But yeah, no need to spam the chat, guys. Gonna update most coins anyway. But yeah, let's yeah, thank you, negative 42. Yeah, nice that you appreciate the stream. I thought better do a live stream where I can answer some questions, instead of just in isolation here update the videos. So let's first do Gala, but I think also Gala is just, I made an update today. Okay, so this broke below support. And here you can see also the meaning of these different support areas. We want to change things a little bit and highlight the risk levels a little bit more. So that's why we introduced this sort of traffic system. An orange support area is a possible trade setup, but more risk that it eventually will break. And I think it was the right decision to highlight this here in orange, because this clearly now broke. And surely this could still be a B wave here, but this is probably going to come down from here further. Yeah, it's sort of pulled back to previous support now. I would like to see if this is actually holding, because it's just pulled back to support, but it will most likely break. So I would rather say that this was then the B wave high here, and we're already coming down in a C wave like Solana. I will take that one off the chart now because it's irrelevant. We just confuse. So what most likely will happen, especially if we take out the previous low, is that we come down in this C wave already. What would be target then? And cheers to the guy who complained a few days ago on the Gala video comments that we will never go down to 3.9 cent level anymore. We will never go down again. Because I did highlight that as a support area eventually for wave 2. So yeah, I think we are nearly there anyway. So however, if this was the A wave, this was the B wave, we are most likely looking for something around the 61.8 retracement or the 78.6, something a little lower. Reason is that if we take the length of the A wave, compare that to the length of the B wave. Okay, so forget about that because need to explain. The very first common target for a C wave is the 61.8 extension. Now that's exactly here where the 50% level is. So expect some support there. Maybe this will already finish the wave 2, especially as we have basically 5 waves down. Yeah, so maybe already at the 50% we could turn around. Now the more likely one in my opinion is the 1-to-1 ratio. So it should take us into the lower half of the box, which is here at 3 cents basically. But we'll see. Let's see how it reacts to that level. Certainly we're heading into support now for wave 2. And I'll take that box out. Let me actually double check that if that box is actually in the right region. But yeah, it is for now. Okay. And I don't think we are still going to do this at the moment, at least. I can't rule out we're doing a higher B wave. It's still technically possible, but we're nearly there at key support for a wave 2. So I take that out. Let's see if it's going to react to it. Ideally in this region somewhere we should see one of these fib levels ideally it should really lead to a turnaround here for Gala back into a third wave then, yeah. That can take us to 10 cents and beyond. Now, not necessarily super bullish on Gala, yeah, don't get me wrong, because this could either be a wave 1 to the upside, a wave 2 to the downside, and if we see a reaction here, it could be a wave 3, wave 4, and a wave 5, or, and that's the bearish version, which is still possible, A wave up, B wave down, C wave up, and then 5 waves down for a new low. So if anybody intends to trade that next wave up, be aware of the risk. This could still break down after the third wave, yeah? So that's Gala. Graph, yeah. Not really a very reliable chart. I did highlight that in the last videos. So this, where are we here? So this could still be in this. So we highlighted two. Let me just rethink where we were here. So we are still in the support area for a possible fourth wave, which might have been completed. I remember at the time we talked about. Okay. So yeah, we talked about, we came down. Yeah, I gave you a target here for this triangle. That was a turning point. Worked out. I'm going to take that triangle out now as well, because it just, it's the past, isn't it? So this could have bottomed here as a wave 4, and I highlighted to you in the last video where we might be working on our way up now in a fifth wave, but I did highlight the risk of an ABC structure, which could still come down lower, which very much might be the case, but for now the move up looks actually quite impulsive and the move down looks actually fairly corrective. So this could still be a wave 2 actually, but we are heading into the region where this is nearly going to get invalidated, and it's not high confidence. It's not a high confidence, let's say, count, because this is getting a 5-wave move down now, right? It took the support area out now because we are now doing the new color coding scheme, the traffic light system. So here, just to double check, if this is a 1-2 setup, that could set us up for higher in a third wave. First of all, it absolutely needs to hold the 13.98 cent level. But ideally, it's holding the 78.6 retracement. And that's here at 14.96 cents. So again, if it drops below that, it's unlikely it's going to hold, and it will probably make a new low and then follow the path down in a C wave, which will come down lower. Possibly sort of in the 12 cent region. Now here I'm going to highlight that, and that in orange, because this is risk. Because I'm not very convinced that this one is actually going to hold necessarily the way we're coming down now, yeah. And due to the uncertainty with Bitcoin, surely it can turn around here. It's not high probability. I would rather say we are following the path down in a C wave now, and that might this will then not be a wave 4 anymore. We're then looking here probably at a larger A, B, C structure, and this might be just a 1-2 setup here, or if not something more bearish. But the graph is a coin where I highlighted to you many times. This topped in 3 waves. It's an unreliable chart, so it's nothing I would personally trade too aggressively, because any chart that topped in 3 waves is something. It's a permanent feature on the chart. It's not reliable. It makes charts unreliable. Yeah. So I'm not a fan of this chart. But this is where it could turn around in a 1-2 setup. Now then again, if it drops below that level, you might be looking at a drop into the, first of all, 13-cent region, and then maybe 10 cents. Oh, Vadim, thank you very much for that great comment about the channel membership. Thanks, great, you enjoy it, guys. Okay. So anyway, I mean, by all means, if any of you like to check out the channel membership, feel free to do it. I mean, it's like literally the cost of 2 Starbucks coffees per month. And I hope there is a lot of educational material, a weekly live stream. You can access all the live charts. It's a great community because there's a lot of networking, and you know that the chat rooms are great. I do update daily with signals and announcements depending on the membership level. Yeah, educational material as well. And this is, in my opinion, higher value than you find on many other websites. I mean, even some like Elliott Wave websites, communities I joined in the past, where you're paying like $100 a month, you get that for like $10 a month, right? So I don't think there is anything that could beat that value, but it's it's up to you. Not everybody, it's not for everybody, surely. It's okay. Well, so a question from Rasta Valley. Do you have a recommendation for learning Elliott Waves? Well, you can check out on the website. We've got education section that's actually free. There's some free videos. Then you could check out the membership. Again, it's actually not expensive. We've got some educational material there, and live streams that are educational, that also teach you, to a degree, of course, how you can trade these Elliott Waves and patterns. And we've got a trading training course on the website, a foundational one. Yeah. Okay, so and by the way, just in terms of also the membership, the price and the value, I mean, you just need to check what other people are charging for the memberships. Yeah, and I don't think they provide as much value. I seriously don't think so. And of course, nothing's perfect. Yeah, of course not. But we give everything, right? Okay. Yeah, Dimitris, I wouldn't go short. I personally wouldn't. Is it? Sorry, your name? Yeah, Dimitris. Yeah, I personally wouldn't go short here on ETH. Personally, not. The thing is, we've now dropped. We are now in support, so I wouldn't go short in support personally. Yeah, we're just hovering above support. So I'd be careful with going short crypto at the moment from here. Oh. Okay, Polkadot. And then in the end, guys, nobody's got a crystal ball. Also, I have no crystal ball. Yeah, it's probabilities. We are in a fast-moving market. When I highlight something on one day, that might have to be revised on the next day because the chart has changed. So we can only use the data that we have in the chart today to make an analysis. And if you look at it, it all depends on which time frame you're looking at, right? I mean, you can analyze the 1 hour chart, you can analyze the daily chart. It will take a while until the daily chart pattern is invalidated, but in the meantime, a lot can happen on the hourly chart. So, it's all about that. But yeah, charts are dynamic. Also, Elliott Wave counts do change. Of course, they have to change. Like you would change a trend line, like you would change a price channel, like you have to adjust your support resistance levels if you don't use Elliott Wave, but traditional technical analysis. When the indicators change, you have to adjust your strategy. A lot of people don't understand that. I always wonder why, because I think the waves are something static. They are dynamic. They are as dynamic as, for example, a support level. They are as dynamic as a trend line. They are as dynamic as moving averages. Yeah. So of course, and also Fibonacci levels change based on what the chart is doing. So nothing is static. Everything's dynamic, and it's even more dynamic in the crypto market. Because it's a volatile market, yeah. And Rinalds, yeah, this is my main job. And Kenan asked, when did I start trading cryptos? That was 2017. But trading or technical analysis and Elliott Waves, I started 14 years ago. After I made my first big mistake. Was it 14 years? Yeah. It was sort of when I, as just finished school, invested my hard-earned money in some banks, the stock market, and of course, you know what the banks did after 2008, right? They all crashed, so it was bad. Okay. Anyway, everybody makes mistakes, but that was my first mistake, and the thing is, everybody makes mistakes, especially in the beginning in these markets. I had someone joined the membership recently, like blew up the account, probably from one single trade, which should never happen, yeah, because you have a stop loss, right? So the person got liquidated. Yeah, we all make these mistakes, but by all means, I'm highlighting risk management in the membership all the time. So in the worst case, you should have maximum like a loss of 2 or 3%, because ideally you don't risk more than 2 or 3% in a single trade. Anybody who's doing that doesn't follow the guidelines anyway, and yeah, you're free to do what you want, but normally most professional traders would not risk more than 1 to 3% of their portfolio in a single trade. Now that doesn't mean you have to have small position sizes, but it means it's a combination of your stop loss level and the position size, yeah, and your personal strategy. So in the end, risk management is all about risk management. So even though I might not take the necessarily the most risky trades, but I avoid losses as much as possible. And that, it's all about being continuously successful, not, making 100x on one single trade and then blowing up your account, but making consistent profits, not chasing, not being greedy. Okay, so anyway, Polkadot reached support. This was also a support area highlighted in the last video, I think. Came now to this. Let's see if we see a reaction, because we've got 5 waves down. This could be an A wave here, complete. It's also the 38.2 retracement, yeah, of this wave 1 to the upside. So just highlighting here, want to show you the fibs. Here, it's basically very close to the 650 level, which is the 38.2 retracement. Now, at the moment, I don't have much confidence this level is going to hold the way it's appearing at the moment, but then they always turn around at an instant, these cryptos. So this is a support, this is a 38.2 fib level. It certainly came down now to a key level. At least a bit of a bounce from somewhere here I would expect, maybe in a B wave, and then eventually, like V-Chain, what we discussed, it should also come down in a C wave afterwards, right? So this is sort of what I'm looking at the moment. I think the trend has also shifted here down in a wave 2, basically as per the count we discussed. And Xland, yeah, I'm German, but I don't live in Germany. So someone asked me today, why on earth are you making these videos in English? It sounds so strange. I'm like, yeah, okay, but you reach many more people, and I'm living in an English speaking country, so why wouldn't I, right? And you reach many more, much more people, just and we have a German channel as well, by the way. EvoFi, do Aave please. Yeah, I can do Aave, but I do analyze it basically on a daily basis for channel members. So if you like to have more frequent updates for some coins, maybe consider the membership. But I can't do them all on a daily basis. But yeah, this one is probably now going to drop into support. Yeah, it failed to rally impulsively. Already highlighted a few days ago that this has turned into something unreliable because it could only really be a diagonal, and diagonals personally, I would avoid. But also here, it's all about risk management. What did I do? I did enter somewhere here around, I think 82.30, just at the top of the box. Moved my stop to break even. Surely could have taken some profits, but thought it might go higher. But the key is to limit your losses. So I moved my stop to break even as soon as possible. Got stopped out then here, yesterday. Made a quick bounce, but now I can just buy back cheaper, so nothing lost really. Just needing to be patient. But this is probably now going to retest. This might still be in its fourth wave, to be honest. Here in some kind of a complex, messy correction, and it will first of all retest this area here, and I might re-enter in the support area somewhere here. Maybe around. It might actually retest the $71 level. I don't have a very clear picture here of the sub-wave structure. Might need to think about that a little bit more today, but let's see. It's a bit of a strange one, it is. I mean, the thing is, has it done a very weak wave 5, right? Has it done that? You couldn't count. No, you can't count 5. Well, I could count 5 waves up here. Maybe it's even done, but it fell short of reaching minimum targets. At the moment, I'm gonna leave it like that and say maybe wave 1 finished, but I need to see more. Need to see a bit more clarity here. Certainly nothing to be too excited about. It's going to retest this support level here. We have very strong support around $78 here, and then down 71. If it breaks below 71, then it's heading down in wave 2. So Aptos, and I will do, I'll do some more updates later today as videos. But with that dynamic drop here today, I thought we'll do a bit of a live stream. Aptos highlighted that already, probably in the last video. I think it was that I take the yellow count off the chart now, because it retraced already to the 88.7% FIB level here. Also didn't specify a turning point here because it's just dropping. So it will probably head into this white support area as it failed to rally impulsively, and it's now coming down also here probably in a C wave, and this is a support area. Sure, and we can just calculate targets in a little bit more detail here. We talk about the area between 1175 and the next key target would be 868. So the 61.8 extension is sort of the first common target for a C wave, even though it's the least reliable one. So more frequently you would see the 1-to-1 ratio maybe all the way down to 868. And then we ideally see a turnaround here. But bear in mind, Aptos is a very short chart history. As I always say, it's a less reliable one because it really has done only one move up so far. And it's a bit of a more speculative one. I mean, Shahida likes to see HNT, but HNT, as I said many times, it's an absolute dumpster fire chart. I wouldn't trust this chart at all, and I would not trade it. And it's just nothing reliable. Yeah, and the reason also here with HNT, this is one that might get delisted at some point, because it's in a lifetime. It's not necessarily in a lifetime downtrend, but it's one of the charts that topped in 3 waves. Yeah, A, B, C, and it came down in a clear 5-wave move. So all the upside it's doing at the moment, in my opinion, at least has a high risk of just being corrective, ABC, and it might not even make a new all-time high in the next bull run, and would then probably in the next bear market come down even lower in the 3rd wave. At least the risk is there. Yeah, at least the risk is there. So I don't see any reason to be long there, even though I've got still my 2 helium miners sitting here on the floor. Never unpacked them, unfortunately, because it's pointless at the moment with the price at the moment. It just doesn't give you any decent rewards, really. Should have never bought them, really, but yeah, it's a questionable chart to the upside. It's impulsive down, yeah, and also now it hasn't really joined any of the rallies recently, which just confirms my higher level assumption and expectation that this is just pure yeah, don't want to say crap, but it's nothing I would want to be long in, and I'm not. And yeah, you could say, we had some short-term upside since the lows here, but all coins did that. And in the best case, this is doing an ABC to the upside. And if we talk about resistances for a wave 2, I mean, surely, this can go all the way up to 22.81 to, yeah, even $45. Yeah, but it would be constrained there, and only if it goes really above that, I would change my higher level view of the chart. Now that, as I always say, just because a chart moves up in 3 waves, it doesn't mean it's necessarily bearish, but it's much less reliable. And then I try to avoid it. Of course, if people like, it fundamentally, that's your decision, but from a TA point of view, not very attractive, really. Yeah, because the risk at least is here, if you go long here, you're basically working against the higher level trend. Okay. By the way, thank you very much, Living Dead. Thank you very much for the donation, and VNexoV as well. Thank you very much. I just missed them while talking. Yeah, guys. By the way, I need to switch the light on 1 second. It's getting dark here in the UK already. Yeah, Caveman, we talked about optimism already. Matic, I promised in the live stream earlier, but I didn't have any time to look at the chart in more detail, but I'm starting to think that this is, it's obviously one of the unreliable ones anyway. So this is heading down, hit the trend line that I showed you in the previous live stream today. This could still work out as a diagonal to the upside. Yeah, we hit the trend line now, so it might very well move up from here. Or alternatively, the other trend line here at 120. If it drops below that, we might very well retest sort of the $1 level, but I don't have a very good indication of what this could be. It's not a healthy structure, what you see here. It's just not. It's the so-called ascending broadening wedge, which is what you would call a bearish pattern. It's a very rare pattern as well, and it's normally not really bullish. Okay. I know it's rallying, and it did rally, but it's one of the strangest structures of charts, this one. First of all, this possible bottom structure, and yeah, I mean, you can use, obviously, from an Elliott Wave point of view, you don't have an edge here, really. Yeah, so I don't use it, I don't do it, I don't trade it at the moment. Because it doesn't really give you an edge. I mean, you can use basic support resistance then, but of course we've got certain scenarios here. The problem is that now with this choppiness, it is very unreliable again. It just became unreliable. It failed to create in this C wave an impulse. So surely we could still get one more wave to the upside from here, but it would really need to turn around now. But then it would be a diagonal. It would just be unreliable. It's not. It hit the trend line support. Do I see a signal that is turning around? No, not yet. So it might very well break and hit the next trend line at 120. If it loses that as well, then I think we're probably going to get into this sort of support region down here around $1. And that might be worth an entry then, or to reassess the chart then. Yeah, not impressed really with what it's doing, especially in ascending broadening wedge. I mean, within any channel, when you pull back to channel support, like here as well, as long as it's not breaking, a pullback trade to look at maybe speculating for a rally into the 170 region. But is it highly probable? Don't think so, really. At least I don't see any sign it's turning around yet. While, by the way, Bitcoin continues to consolidate here a little bit sideways. So also here, it doesn't look like this move down is finished yet. So I'm still waiting maybe to see if we drop a little lower. Link reacted to the support area, but let's see. So covered all these coins. Andreas asks about Quant. I think Quant probably lost support now, didn't it? Okay, not yet. It dropped, yeah, but it's still holding above the, also sort of around the 78.6 retracement, but it's starting to look not healthy anymore. Okay, it's not healthy anymore. This could still technically be a 1-2 setup, but I'm starting to lose faith. So this is something where I would be very careful now, because if it drops below, I mean, it's already briefly dropped below the 78.6 retracement, so it's starting to get unreliable that this is still working out to the upside. This is a warning, and we lost the channel support as well. So I would say probabilities are shifting just now strongly towards further downside. It hasn't really broken support yet substantially. That would happen if it maintains below 131.14 here. And then there's a big risk it's going to drop below 126.40. And then probably also here getting to test the $100 level and maybe even getting into the wave C support area for the wave 2. Yeah, I'm not trading Quant at the moment, but if it comes down, then I will probably add a bit. But we just don't have those. I only said it in the video earlier today that I made about Quant. The buyers don't really seem to be there at the moment for Quant, so it's not, where's the hype at the moment? It will surely come back, but the break of the trend line at the moment would suggest rather downside. Yeah, this 1-2 setup will break, but it's not broken yet. And what you sometimes get in these channels, it's a so-called throw under, where the wave 2 actually briefly breaks below channel support to reclaim it afterwards. That still can happen. So, but it has never broken above this trend line here, and it's just following basically now some kind of a channel to the downside actually. But yeah, it would need to turn around just imminently. Otherwise, it will probably morph into a much more bearish scenario, short term at least. So Be the Light, welcome to Gold membership. And is it Maciek or Maciej? Sorry if I don't pronounce it correctly. Welcome to the Gold membership. If you have any questions, please reach out by email. You'll find that on the website if you missed the join instructions or anything. Okay, Aptos we talked about. And guys, I will not do that much longer here. Probably have to finish at some point because I need to get some food. Medic we did. Okay, Optimism we did. Oh yeah, ICP. Someone wants to see ICP. One of my favorite charts. Sarcasm on. Yeah, it's where we sketched out a possible impulse, but as I always say with ICP, don't be surprised if it suddenly breaks down, because it's absolute lifetime downtrend. And this has had a correction now where it shouldn't have had one if it would follow a third wave. So yeah, it topped in 3 waves so far, right? ABC, and this is where it can send it down to make a new low eventually, unless this is like a 1-2 setup. But yeah, where do we have support? I mean, there's support in the $5 region now. It's certainly cut into the wave 1 price region now, which it should never do really. Right now it's doing this. So unless this is a 1-2 setup, which would be very bullish and then could extend out further, and which will get invalidated below $5, yeah, it just maintains my view. It's just made another lower low and a lower high. So it's just following it's following the trend, you know. I don't see any reason to be long with these coins which just follow the trend to the downside. Because you always need to think about, yes, you might like the project long term and whatever, but if you look at it purely from a trend point of view, do you really want to trade against the trend? Yeah. And if you go long, you trade against the long-term trend. The trend is down. The daily, the weekly trend is down. You trade against the weekly trend. This trend will only change if you go to a new all-time high. You trade against the weekly trend if you go long coins like that. And if you talk about upside, yeah, surely it went up, but other coins did that as well. Coins which are not in a long-term downtrend, and I'm rather I rather want to, from a risk management point of view as well, I'd rather follow a coin or invest in a coin where I know it's actually in a long-term long-term uptrend, right? Because yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I did buy ICP at some point as well. I can't remember where it was. Very small position, somewhere down here. Can't remember where it was. A very speculative position. I still hold it, but it was only like, I don't know, a couple of $100 or something. Very small position, which I highlighted at the point, because you never know with some of these coins. But it's more like, you know, if the money is gone, it's gone. I'm just wondering when that was. I can't remember. If it's in profit now, I might just want to get out. We'll see. I need to check. But yeah, you know, it's a coin which is in a lifetime downtrend. I would always avoid, unless you're really, really convinced. But that's your decision anyway. Yeah, I can only say what I'm doing. And unless you're really convinced about that project, that it will take off, you know something. But even then, you're working against the higher level trend. Yeah. Always bear in mind that Bitcoin outperforms most altcoins long term. It does. The data is there. Yeah, just look at many Bitcoin, even ADA, for example. Just ADA example. I think was outperformed by Bitcoin long term, but I think there are only a few where the altcoins really cycle over cycle, where the altcoins are outperforming Bitcoin. For example, BNB. Yeah. Okay, VeChain we did. We already talked about optimism. We talked about Solana. I think I'm gonna close the stream at some point here now. Did I blow an account in my early days? No, I never blew my account because I was always careful with leverage. I mean, what I did in the early days, and that was sort of early in my early days, but I basically lost 70%, 80% of what I invested. But it was, what was it at the point? I mean, at the time it was much money, so it was like $2,000 that just disappeared because I bought banks, bank stocks at the peak of the bull run 2007 or something, which was probably, but that was like 14 years ago, 15 years ago. So you learn from that, and the key is many people then will never touch stocks and shares again. Whereas what did I do? I wanted to learn how it works, and that's how you get successful in any areas in your life. You stand up, you get up again, you sit down, you learn how it works, and then you get better at it. Okay, a link we did. Okay, guys, I think what I'll do now, I'll do a break, I'll get some food, and then I'll update with some videos anyway. Yeah, because we did talk about all the most of the coins that were requested here. Probably not all of them, but we can't do them all. I will do updates later anyway as videos. If anybody might be interested in the channel membership, feel free to check it out. I'm absolutely convinced it's great value. Might not be for everybody, of course, but feel free to check it out. For the cost of 2 Starbucks coffees per month, I think it's great value. And we do weekly live stream. Yeah, on Sunday again, I think we talk about certain Elliott Wave patterns again. It's always educational, or we talk about projects. Then we've got educational material on there. You can watch all the previous live stream recordings, which are relevant because they normally include an educational section as well. So it's a bit like a course as well. We build a knowledge base. We've got the chat rooms. We've got signals for gold members. I give frequent updates about the market. I don't think you can do much more. I don't think you can do much more. If anybody expects much more, you have wrong expectations. It doesn't work. So yeah, check it out. Would be great to welcome you in the membership, and if you enjoy it. And until then, feel free to have a great day, and we'll see each other in the videos or in the live streams. But yeah, thanks all for joining. Yeah. See you later. Bye bye.